It's crazy to think that I've already had 4 guests, but I have been enjoying the journey so far. In this week's episode, we are joined by Arizona Cardinals linebacker Krys Barnes. And it's been a journey. This NFL journey has not been easy for him, and he's going to take us through what it's been like now going into year 5. So without further ado, let's get into it. You're in the off season right now, but what does like a day in the life look like? Because it's like, well, the off season is what they say. I don't know if you really have time off, but just on a day-to-day basis, like what does your schedule look like to still stay prepared for the season?
Yeah, and it's different. There's 2 phases off season where we have the first part right after the season where a lot of guys, even myself, kind of get away from the game, go travel a little bit, see some family that you haven't seen all season pretty much. The second part of the off season after OTAs, really from middle of June to right before camp, you only really have 5.5 weeks. So it's to most, it kind of seems long, but to fit training, see your family, travel if you want to within those 5.5 weeks is it's hard to do sometimes. But really for me right now, it's different every year. I'm still out here in Arizona. My first year actually staying where I'm playing to train. So it's free, which I can't complain. Keep it free.
Right.
So I got a good training staff here. I get the whole access to the training facility as far as recovery, treatment, sauna, which I'm big on right now. So pretty much my morning, I'm waking up at 5 every day. I got 2 dogs, so they be up before me, and I gotta let them out, handle my dad duties that way. So take care of them. Are they
your wake-up call?
Yeah, they're my wake-up. Yeah, my alarm is always set, but I hear them ears shake before my alarm even goes off, and I got to be up and moving. So
I can relate to that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's fun. I love to have them, but it's a lot. So after that, take care of them, get to work probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Get myself going for the day, whether it's workout, recovery, whatever that might be. From that point, I'm getting back home probably around 12:30. Try to cook a meal real quick, which is, I ain't the best chef, but we're keep it simple and get the job done.
Are you learning like new meals and stuff, or do you like stick to the basics?
Stick to the basics. Stick to what I know: chicken, salmon, steak.
That's what I do.
But I'm not really big on crazy size or try some type of different. No, we're gonna keep it simple.
So you're just doing like a salmon and some rice, or like
salmon, rice, broccoli. Broccoli is usually my main vegetable, just because it's super simple. That or asparagus. Rice is my main go-to too. Because you can't really mess up rice. Well, take it back, you can, but once you get used to it, it gets a little better. Yeah, it gets a little better. So salmon, chicken thighs, steak every now and then is a mix up, but the 3 main topics and we good. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
So after lunch, then after that point, it's really just take care of the dogs, do what I want now at this point, whether it's researching books, go golf. I got some golf clubs recently, so trying to test my hands at the golf club a little bit, which is it's a new skill. It's definitely frustrating, as they say.
I cannot imagine. I've been able to cover some like PGA championships now, and
really?
I'm just so impressed. I mean, they have like 3, I don't even know how you say it, swings, hits to go across a whole entire green, and I'm just like, it would take me maybe 70 tries. Yeah, maybe even more.
I have a newfound respect for people who do golf, really any sport, to be honest. I had a chance to watch volleyball, track, even the Olympic trials been on. It's like, just to see how much people really take. I mean, I know how much I take in my credit in my job too as well, and how much it took in the detail. But seeing everybody else do it for their respective sport is, man, it's top tier. And you can tell when people are serious about it and who's not. So it's definitely crazy.
So if you've watched all these sports, so if you had to choose another sport to play, what are you choosing? Are you going just with basketball? I feel like a lot of football players can say that.
See, my heart says basketball just because that's what I watch the most, honestly. But truly, I think if it was another sport I had to play, it probably had to be, now is probably what do you call it? Not tennis, but pickleball.
Pickleball?
Come on.
Wow.
I'm on that court.
Wow.
I'm on that court. It's
I'm
not too much running. It's in my cylinder. It's quick. I can handle that.
It's quick movements though.
It's
like a different kind of fitness because you're just going like, vertical, like it's quick. Right.
But I think it's translatable to what I play as football. Linebacker is a lot of that short burst, short area burst, and quick action. Maybe a little bit more response time and hand-eye coordination. But I think after a couple of days, you'll pick it up.
For sure. So so you get to like your midday, you cook. Yep. So what's like the nighttime? Like that's just like the downtime.
Yeah, kind of downtime to kind of just chill, read certain books, take dogs on a walk when the sun finally goes down. Like just kind of my wind down time a little bit. I'm not really too big in getting out and about too much, so I'm really a homebody to the max.
I feel that.
But for me, it's more so just trying to make sure I'm handling what I need to handle and it's an important 5 weeks. Even though it is off season, it's a build up to the start of the season, the start of what you want to do, everything you're preparing for. So for me, I don't take it lightly anymore. I think in prior years, even in college, I would take these times off as like, oh, it's vacation. I'm about to go do whatever, like have total fun. But it's a balance. You got to know what's fun and when it's time to go put the work in and get right.
For sure. And I just feel like that's like a learning experience. Like as you continue to, be in the league longer, you just learn what fits you and what doesn't. What about I know you mentioned the sauna. Like you said you're into the sauna. How long are you in there for? Like what's up with the sauna? Because I like saunas too, but I'm like 10 minutes and I'm good.
10 minutes, yeah. See, I'm in there for a good 25, 30. 30 if it's it's a great day. Yeah, it's a great day. But really is, for me, I think it's the best thing that I felt for my body as far as recovery. Like really just being able to detox my body from the day or whatever it is, kind of restart that healing process as well. And being in Arizona in general, I think it helps me kind of prepare for those times when it is hot, like at a game day, a home game, away game in Florida somewhere. Like it prepares me for those type of environments a little bit. Not to say it's the same, but just kind of getting those elements I think do help as well. And now when you hit them, that anything over 20 is a little bit of a stretch. You got to take little breaks here and there, but you got to finish the 30 off strong though.
I feel like I start suffocating. Like I'm like claustrophobic. I'm like, I gotta get out. And like Caleb, he likes to get in there with like full sweats on, and I'm like, I can't. No, sweats, it's crazy.
Everything.
It's crazy.
The steam room is way worse. Like if I'm in the steam room, I feel that same feeling you feel as far as like suffocation. I can't breathe. I start to get a whole panic attack and anxiety. It's like, nah, let me get out of here. Let me go to that dry sauna real quick.
There's no way I'm doing that. In 2020, you went, you're free agent, undrafted to the Packers. What was that process like? Because to see where you are now, I know a lot of people have stories similar to yours, but just kind of walk me through that process and how it was even going into the league, knowing you were undrafted as a free agent, and how you just kind of really showcased yourself the best you could, and it ended up working for you.
Heck yeah. I mean, it was a tough time to say the least. Every athlete, I think, wants to hear the name, wants to hear the name called on draft day. That's what you prepare for, as you work for all through college. But I think for me, I already had an idea that I probably wasn't going to hear my name, especially talking to my agent that I had at the time. He's kind of prepped me for that. Like, hopefully, hope for the best, 6th, 7th round, of course, we're hearing that. But on draft day, anything can happen. You can always fall. So be prepared for the worst. But going into it, I trained my butt off out in Miami with a good group of guys, and felt prepared going into the draft. It just sucked because that was COVID year. So literally a week before my pro day, I got a text from UCLA or whatever it was saying that the pro day was canceled due to COVID. So I couldn't perform that no more. Thankfully, I had like a senior game after my college career. It wasn't a Senior Bowl. It wasn't East-West. It was I can't remember the name of it right now, but honestly, one of my only opportunities to have a showcase in front of NFL coaches to be able to show what I could do. So like my pro day is all taped back in my hometown. One of my boys recorded me at the high school park across the street and doing all my 40-yard dash, like my combine drills, the bag drills and whatnot, just try to showcase something. Have my agent push out to all the NFL scouts and whatnot. So it comes draft day, and I prepared myself, watched day 1, day 2, seeing all my boys get drafted, which was honestly cool as hell. But to still want to have a chance to hear day 3, hear my name be called. Day 3 comes, rounds go by. We're getting close to the 6th, 7th round, and at this point, I'm fully prepared to be undrafted and see what's next. And I'm gonna get a couple calls between 2 teams, the Packers and the Vikings. One offered more money than the other. For me, my agent at the time, we did a great due diligence of who's on our roster, who's where, how do I fit, what's the best fit for me. I think that made the process and the choice kind of easier for me, even though one team offered more. I'll say the Vikings offered more at the time. They offered almost $100,000. Now Packers, they only offered $7,000. So for me, it was a chance to be like, okay, I can come in, make a good signing bonus, have a good start to my career, or come in here and try to fight for a spot with Green Bay. And that's what I did. So I went there, came in, really had no preseason games. It was just camp. So another loss of opportunity to show what type of player I am to the team, and not just the Packers, but all other 31 other teams that are in the league. So I was just trying to battle that whole process of, okay, let me just take it day by day, one day at a time, one play at a time, and just see where this takes me. So we ended up kind of getting to the whole process of that, and got cut on the last day of a cut day throughout camp, and I was bummed out, kind of disgusted with myself, feeling like I didn't make it, like this is what it was, a P squad now. But Since it honestly worked out in my favor. That first weekend, getting signed to the 53 that Friday before the first regular season game. They gave me a chance. It was kind of like my preseason game in a sense to be able to show what I could do, showcase my game. And
what is your, like, when you're going into that first league game, like, what are you thinking? Like, how are you feeling? Like, I just couldn't even imagine. I know people are like, it's scary, but like, when you really put that helmet on, you're going up against like other grown men that are the best in the, like, what are you thinking?
Because you're going against guys that have been doing this for a while, guys you watch on TV throughout college, throughout high school, and now you're in it. I was nervous as heck leading up to the whole process the whole week. But once Sunday came, I think it's something I've been playing football since I was 8 years old. So for me, it's more of like they tie their shoes how I tie my shoes. We both try to helmet on the same way. Thankfully, that year there was no fans in the stands, so it kind of made the process and emotions a little less dim, and it felt more like a practice than an actual game. So it made that process of me being able to go trust my instincts, not have to worry about the highs and lows of a game throughout the roller coaster of fans and all that. It made it a little bit easier. So for me, it was stressful, but once you make that first tackle in that first play, it's like, okay, I'm here now. Let's just try to keep finding these good plays on top of another and see where it goes.
Right. But it makes sense. Most athletes know, like, once you actually get on the field, like, all that nervousness kind of goes away. The adrenaline gets up. So throughout your career, who have you lined up against on the other side of the ball that you're like, he's a dog? Like, so far, who have you been like, wow, bye?
There's a lot, to be honest. I think the GOAT of all time, Tom Brady. My rookie year, we played then down in Tampa. And of course, you're playing Tom Brady all week, but once you get out there on the field and you line up across from Tom Brady, who's making checks and pointing you out as a Mike, which is like football terminology, but it's a different feel when you see him face to face, and it's like, okay, this is really a guy I've been watching TV win Super Bowls for the past however long. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
But even from that standpoint too, like in practice, seeing Aaron Rodgers, who's one of the great twos as well, like you see him on a daily basis in the locker room with this guy, and I think that kind of just settled some of that stardom a little bit. I think that starstruckness of coming into the league, seeing guys you play with or seeing guys you've watched for so long. Now you try to play with them, it takes it away a little bit. So for me, it was there's guys in throughout that, but Tom Brady got to be a top one for sure.
The GOAT. I mean, it makes sense.
Of all time.
He might have came out of retirement. He was talking about it, so you might have had a chance to line up against him one more time.
He better not, because I don't need no distraction this year. This is our year. I'm putting it out there now for the Arizona Cardinals. This is our year. we got something going for us. So,
what kind of piece of advice do you have maybe for some other athletes going through a similar process as you? I know a lot of people say it's not where you start, it's where you finish, and that's kind of been the case for you. So what advice do you have for maybe someone that does get undrafted and goes as a free agent?
Yeah, 100%. I think the biggest thing that helped me really was just taking it one day at a time. There's nothing, you can't really think too far in the future. You can't think past the play that you're in right now. So for me, it was more just so get grounded with yourself. I think that's big on me with my faith and my spirituality. Like I really feel like a lot of my calmness comes from the Lord and my faith in Him, and He has me here for a reason. And that's something I think that we all need to know as athletes is like you got to know your value within the team and know your role within the team. And not everyone's a starter, not everyone's their go-to guy or whatever it might be. But just because you're not that doesn't mean you can't excel in whatever position you're in. So for me, I knew my skill set was more so my mind, and I could think and get myself in plays and ahead of plays before others. So for that, I think I knew my value coming into it, and I just try to excel and be the best at what I could be in that role. And within that, it's led me to be here now going on year 5, coming in undrafted, started 2 years at Green Bay, battled a couple injuries, and still trying to fight. So to me, it's more so what you got in front of you. It can't be scary at times, but if you take it head on and you take it with your best ability, it's really going to work out in your favor every time.
Yeah, and going into year 5, like, does it even get any easier? I mean, I know experience-wise, you've seen some things, some things, but do you ever really think it's easier? I
think it gets easier with the thought of the unknown or like what's to come. I know what camp's like. I know what preseason's like, the longevity of a season. But in the sense of handling the business, I wouldn't say it gets easier. I honestly think it gets harder as the deeper you get into it, the more years you have. Because every year they're looking for somebody new, somebody fresh, somebody younger to come in and take your spot. And you got to come in and know, like I said, know your value, know your worth. Doesn't matter if you're year 5, year 7, year 1, you got to come in and earn that every day. So I wouldn't say it gets easier. I just think you learn more and be able to adapt quicker to certain situations. But it's still a hell of a journey now. Week in, week out, practice by practice, through camp, through week 1 to week 17. Like it's a grind. It's a grind.
See, and that's the part that I like for people to see, just because, with my dad and brother, but it's like, it looks luxurious on Sundays, and on Monday Night Football, but it's like just the cutthroat business behind the scenes people just really have no idea about.
Yeah, I'll say game day is probably the probably least stressful day of the whole week. Like Monday to Saturday, you're dealing with new install, new game plan, new whatever, film study. It's a whole lot trying to get your body prepared to go get, when I say a car crash, every Sunday. Like you're preparing yourself for these over and over things. And when Sunday comes, it's carefree. Like I said, it's a kid's game.
Right.
We've been playing this since we were all young, and we get a chance to go out there, talk a little crap, bang heads a little bit, get into it. So like Sunday would really be our playground. But it's a hassle. And I think your brother is the one that showed me, Caleb, he showed me a lot of what this game is like. One, I think from his dad, from your guys' dad as well, just as far as the coaching aspect. But I think just also going through this of being material relevant, going through P squad, switching teams, and it's just the journey he had as well. He was like my older brother to me. Like he showed me a lot as far as how to handle the ropes, how to go throughout all this, how to handle the business side of it, but also handle the emotion side of everything too as well, which is a lot. And it can be a lot, but it's in every aspect. Like just like broadcasting, I'm sure there's a lot that comes with that too as well, prepping for it and figuring out what you want to say and getting past certain things with yourself too as well. So it's a lot in everything. I think it's just how you handle those situations will lead and dictate where you end up, really.
No, definitely. And I'm sure, throughout your time, you've created different relationships, met so many people. But I know your dog growing up, Jordan Love.
Heck yeah.
How has it been kind of just being in the league with him and you guys being able to pick each other's brain? I mean, you as kids, that's like a dream come true to be in the NFL with someone, your best friend growing up. That just doesn't happen. So how's that been?
Yeah, no, it's crazy because, like you said, it's a goal. We all talked about it, but I don't think we really believed it until we got like our junior, senior year. Like it was a real opportunity. But to see you to make it to the league, let alone be on the same team with Jordan for 3 years, was a heck of an opportunity. I'm talking about like our rookie year, we're in the same apartment together trying to figure out camp installs, figure out COVID, like figure out the regulations between that as well. So like it was crazy.
Thank goodness y'all had each other.
I'm telling you, because it got a little scary. It got a little scary, but. It honestly made it a little bit less stressful too on my end of being able to feel that pressure of learning the playbook or trying to figure out what the league is like, because we're both going through this together. We're both taking those steps of learning the ins and outs of the league, and I think within that we're able to help grow each other too as well. He's doing great things now with the Packers. Just got engaged, like he's living his best life right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It's honestly a blessing. We have a camp back home. We do our second year now back home on the 6th. So got a lot of
be there. Stuff. Everybody be there.
I'm telling you, please.
You better show up.
It's already fully registered, but it's gonna be a heck of an event. Yeah, heck of an event. We're gonna get a good thing for the community. I think it's just dope to see both of us live out our dreams with both things that we talked about in high school and college, and now still be able to do what we do is nothing less but a blessing.
Yeah, I mean you can't write that story any better.
No, not at all.
How much time at home do you set aside for football? Because it's like it's a balance. You have to prioritize yourself in your own personal life, but at the same time, like you're at home and you gotta get in the book and all that kind of stuff. So how do you get a balance of that, and what's your kind of routine in that aspect?
It's hard. I think it changes every year, to be honest. I feel like certain years I might need more of my playbook time, more film time, or more time in around the family, talking to family too as well. But it's really a balance. It's hard trying to find that balance, I will say. But for
sure.
me, it's more so I know I'm a perfectionist and I need to be in my playbook. I need to know the ins and outs of my playbook like the back of my hand. So for me to do that, I got to spend a lot of time. And time like now, even off season, I'll get my iPad just to refresh, kind of keep my mind right around football. But when season comes, it's a full force. It's Monday through Sunday, in the iPad, writing down notes, watching film, in the facility longer, doing different lifts, doing different recovery things. Like it's really a full force, 24/7 type of mentality really for my job. That's what it is at the end of the day. Like I got to be able to make sure I'm prepared to go to work the next day and the following day and the following day. But it's a balance. I think for me, it's nice to be back on the West Coast, have my family not too far from me. So like
West Coast, the best coast. I try to tell
West
people over
Coast.
here in Kentucky, but they don't
West
listen
Coast
to
is the
me
West
yet.
Coast. You got a little taste going back home last weekend, going back
Yep.
to LA, and you got to revisit it. But
I did.
I think it's, like I said, it's nice having a family close where I have those home cooked meals again, coming back every Sunday or every Monday
Doesn't beat
when I have
that.
off days, and it's nothing like a home cooked meal. I miss those
Oh my
for
gosh.
3 years out in Green Bay, just because traveling out there is so hard and so difficult going to the Midwest that it creates issues
Right.
sometimes. So having my family around, man, is really nothing better than that, to be honest. Having friends come up to the games now, having more people around, it really feels like support system is around you, which is huge, especially up here. Not having a support system can get tough, especially in areas where you're in Green Bay, you're in a small town, small little place, and
They say Green Bay is the toughest NFL town to be in, and I believe them.
It's dark by 4:30. You're not seeing much sunlight.
No.
It's a little different, but
you might as well be in Alaska.
Telling you, it's
Same
tough. same cold, all that. But
see,
it's honestly a blessing to be back out here on the West Coast, though.
For sure. Now, like, what are you really enjoying most about being in the league? Because it does sound, I mean, after people listening to this, it's intense, and it's it's your job, and you're trying not to lose your job every day. So it can be hard to really sit back and like enjoy it. But so far, just going into year 5, what are you really enjoying most?
That's a good question. I think besides the love for the game and that coming back to me more and more each year, I really think I find my enjoyment in just the stage I have now, be able to set myself up for certain things, whether it's entrepreneurship or giving back to community, or just being an inspiration to the youth. Really, I think we all want to be in some sort of fashion of be able to give back, be able to be an inspiration to others. So to be able to not have this stage, I'm trying to get more into that role of, okay, let me do a back to school drive, let me do a camp back home, let me try to get in that stage of showing what God has blessed me with. I think that's the biggest thing, really. I always tell myself, Lord, maybe make me more like you. And within that, the Lord is love, and that's showing grace, humility, and all that. So within that, that's something I got to show in return. That's giving back to the community. That's walking in the light where whoever's around me, they can steal my joy and make one person smile and lead to the next.
And what you just said just shows, like, when everyone says, like, it's bigger than football, like, it's bigger than the game. Like, that's literally what it means. So that's 100%. Super awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do a lot of would you rathers, and I asked Caleb about you too because he gave me some for Stevie, and I was like, okay, like, give me some for Krys because I feel like you would really know. So one, would you rather have 0 pets or would you rather have 5 dogs?
Okay. This sounds just like a Caleb, a C-Will question. A good C-Will question.
Yes.
That's tough because I already have 2. So I feel like after 1, it really ain't much different. To be honest, it's just a lot more feeding schedules.
That's good to know because people tell me I should get another dog, and I'm like, I don't know.
They all have their own personality, but I think it depends on how you manage them. Like, if you have a good schedule for them, good training is different. But 0 dogs, you're free. Like, you can go wherever you want to go. You can go travel. You ain't got to worry about boarding the dog up somewhere or finding a daycare. So if I was to choose,
then it's not just 2. You got 5.
It's 5. That's a whole. That's a whole basketball team at that point.
You almost starting lineup.
Telling you, if I probably still choose 5 dogs. To be honest, I like having dogs around me. Even though it'd be a lot. If I had the right space, be killing you up. We'll train you right. We'll have you on a good system. Yeah, we doing the 5 dogs. They're gonna be.
So you're an all-time dog dad. You're just.
I'm the best of the best. I damn deserve a trophy at this point.
You might need to start up here.
Yeah, Father's Day, I was celebrating because I got 2 kids at the house.
You might as well start up your own like training facility. It sounds.
I thought about it, but
you don't have any time. But something to think about later down the road.
Especially with 5 dogs? Yeah. That's a good litter right there.
Okay, would you rather travel to Cabo or the Bahamas?
Okay. Cabo's close to Arizona. I don't know how far of a flight Bahamas is.
That's true. It is close.
I've never been to both, so that's a great question. I'd probably go Bahamas, to be honest. I feel like Bahamas is a little bit more tropical, a little more like a laid-back vibe, which is my type of thing, to be honest. Get
Yeah.
out there, enjoy a couple drinks, sit by the sand, by the water, kind of just chill out. But Cabo, I've heard a couple stories about Cabo, so I might gotta stay away
I
from
have
there
to.
for a little while.
Cabo is up, and whoever travels
Yep.
there is down. That's all I know.
100%. It's caught a lot of bodies out there, and I don't want to be one
For
of them.
Well, it looks like you got your next trip booked.
Yeah, I might. Me and Caleb just talked about going somewhere, so we'll see. Yeah,
Oh.
we shall see. You invited.
So,
You
oh,
invited.
well, hey, you just got to say the word, and I'm there. What's your ideal vacation spot? This is the last
Yeah.
one. If you had like your one place you're like, I gotta go, I still want to go there.
I'll probably say my boy just went to Italy, which looked
Ooh.
crazy. It looked super dope there.
If I go to Italy, I feel like I got to get like the fits. I got to like wear the little hat
yeah.
with like,
It's a whole
like
plan.
you really got to get into it.
Yeah, a whole plan.
Yeah.
You need a photographer with you, following you around everywhere at the same time.
But
Somewhere I want to go though. I don't think there's a exact location, but I really want to travel to like South Africa or somewhere in Africa just to be able to experience, see, get out there for myself and see really what it is. Actually,
Yes,
not just in the normal tourist type guide. I want to be actually in like get a feel of like to be in a city a little bit and
Right.
and be around the people, be around the culture, and get a little sense of that. So that's definitely on my list of when I'm going. I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
on the list sometime to get out there for sure.
I want to go too because those safaris that I see on TikTok, it's like I have to experience it, but I'm also terrified at the same time. Like you really just ride next to a tiger.
Yeah, right there
Like-
to a lion that might be hungry and you might look like the next snack. And I don't want that problem, to be honest. But if I could ask you a question too, to be honest.
Of course.
I know you've been doing this broadcasting thing for a little while, and honestly, super proud of you too, just from the stories I've seen on Twitter, which is I guess now X. But
Yes.
you're
I
really
appreciate
doing
that.
a hell of a job with that too as well. So I want to give you flowers. But
Thank you.
what was, I guess, your leading drive, or what was that point of being like, I want to have my own podcast to be able to bring and have control of the questions, the interview, and whatnot like that too as well. So I guess what was your leading force making this choice?
Well, I had been talking about it for a long time, and I've kind of learned like throughout my career, like it's all about just networking and connections and learning. And so I knew that, you know, with broadcasting where I'm at, I'm in Central Kentucky. So a lot of your stuff is just in Central Kentucky. I mean, it's a plethora of athletes you're talking to, getting to know. But I kind of wanted to broaden my horizons a little bit and talk to more people. And I started off with sports because I was like, obviously, this is who I know. This is kind of what I grew up in. But I was like, I'm so open to just learning from people. I was like, I want to get a chef on here and just, you know, really meeting people and learning new things. I think that was the biggest thing for me, which so far I've, you know, you're my fourth guest on here, and it's been awesome. I got to do some stuff with Stevie in LA, learn about real estate. So I just been learning a lot and talking to people, and that's kind of what I love to do. That's my job, and that's what really, really drove me to do it.
Yeah, no, that's huge, to be honest. That's something I think.
Yeah.
I think your family does a hell of a job with, to be honest. 'Cause Caleb kind of told me I'm really an introvert, so Caleb kind of put me on to being able to network and connect with people, and it's not just from the point to just do it. It's more about a purpose to reach people and cause you never know what impact might come out of a conversation. So I think it's also a hell of a thing you're doing. I'm happy to be the fourth guest. You're my first